it started with a little amount of money. So little that you can laugh at it looking back. It's a total loan of $27 to 42 people. So it's not even $1 a piece. So that's what excited me and wanted to do more of it. Trying to persuade the banks to do it. They wouldn't do it. So I offered myself as a guarantor. I said, okay, I'll sign all your papers and take all the risk, and you give the money. They were stuck with their rules and procedures, so I was trying to kind of get over those things. And that was the beginning. Luckily, it worked and continued to grow, lending money to poor women, tiny little money. Everybody said it's going to collapse very soon. We said, until it collapses, I'll keep on doing it. So why should I stop it just because someday it is going to collapse, which we don't know whether it will. That's it. And then we created a bank out of it, called it Grameen Bank or Village Bank. And people ask me, how did you figure this out? All these rules and procedures that you put into it so that it can work even in very adverse circumstances, still it works. I said, I don't do very hard work. I'm an easygoing man. I just look at the conventional banks, how they do it. And once I learned how they do it, each piece, and I just do the opposite. And it works. They go to the rich people, so I decided to go to the poor people. They go to men, so I decided to go to women. They go to the city center to business. I wanted to go to the village, remote village. They want collateral. I said, forget about collateral. Who wants collateral? If you want collateral, you never get to the poor people. So dismiss collateral. They have big lawyers in their bank. We said, we don't need lawyers. So we are the only lawyer-free bank in the whole world, probably. It works. We don't need them. And lawyers and the banks, conventional banks, want to know your all antecedents, what you have been doing, whether you know everything, what kind of business you have been running, everything, your past, as much details as they can get. So we said, forget about it. We are not interested in the past of our borrowers. We're interested in the future of our borrowers. So if you're looking for the poor people, I'm sure there's something they have done which may not be very pleasant. Why you dig into it? So because he or she is not responsible for it, society is responsible for what he or she has been doing. So why don't you just give it a break and start fresh? See what he or she wants. And this is how we wanted to do. Conventional banks concentrated on owning, or conventional banks are owned by the rich people. So we reversed that too. We made this bank owned by the poor people. And not only conventional banks are owned by rich people, mostly it's owned by rich men. So we reversed that. We not only make it owned by the poor people, we made it owned by poor women. So this is a bank which is owned by the borrowers themselves. Right now we have 8.3 million borrowers. 97% of them are women. And they own the bank. They run the bank. They are the board. They decide the rules and procedures and so on and so forth. So this is one way to describe how operationally and structurally the whole bank is done. And then you can understand where we come from. It's not just tiny size of loan makes it Grameen Bank. It's a kind of making everything other way. In one meeting in the early years, 10th year or 11th year, of bankers, the one banker was saying, Professor Yunus, you're not going to get away with this. You made the whole banking system upside down. I said, yes, that's what exactly I did, because banking system was standing on its head. So I'm trying to put it on its head. In order to demonstrate that even the poorest person can be an entrepreneur, one idea came to me, why don't I do something so that I can demonstrate this? This idea was to lend money to beggars. You cannot be poorer than beggars. That's the last stage of human survival. You have no other source. You go and beg for your daily food. Go to houses, neighbors, find something to eat or get some money to eat. And that's how you survive. You not only do it once or twice, that becomes your livelihood for the rest of your life. I said, let's try that. So we started talking to the beggars. We started talking that as you go from house to house begging, would you like to carry some merchandise with you? Some cookies, some candies, some toys for the kids. And we make it sound easy for them by saying, you are going there anyway. This is not extra work for you. So, and you are giving people more options. So that if they don't want to give anything free, you may try to sell something. So they may like to buy something, or they may like to do both, give you some food free, and also buy something from you. So you have two businesses going instead of one business. People like that, beggars like that. They said, where do we get the money? I said, we'll give you the money. So we started giving them the loan. Our idea was, if they succeeded in getting the loan and paying us back by the business they would do, that will show that, yes, even a beggar can be an entrepreneur on his own, on her own. We thought there'll be 1,000 or 2,000 beggars in that program. It became such a popular program. We ended up with more than 100,000 beggars in that program. And we have been watching them, what is there, what are they doing. It's become very popular. What they do, as we explained. And now, in the last 5 years, this is about the time that we are doing it. In the last 5 years, out of this 100,000 beggars, more than 22,000 beggars have stopped begging completely because they became successful door-to-door salesperson. And not only they became door-to-door salesperson, some of them became your personal shoppers. You come and the housewife says, when you come tomorrow, you bring me this. She brings you this because she cannot go to the market all the time. But this lady is going around doing things, so she brings you whatever you needed, little things. But you have a good business going. People ask us to buy them, and she feels comfortable, and the family feels comfortable with it. And another issue comes up in our work, because I've been insisting that all human beings are entrepreneurs. It burns up many people. Oh, why does he say that? There are only few people who are entrepreneurs. The rest of us, we are not entrepreneurs. We have to work under the entrepreneurs. I said, no, all human beings are entrepreneurs. That's how we survived on this planet. Otherwise, we would be in the caves, still living the kind of life we lived there, because we all worked together to change our life. That's how we came here and still function here. They didn't take it very seriously. Then they said, yes, you can lend money to the poor people, but you should be looking for entrepreneurial poor. I said, not in my case, because everybody's entrepreneur, so I go ahead with that. Even she tells me again and again, no, sorry, please don't give me money. I don't know what to do with your money. I never used money in my life. I can't use your money. We don't give up. We keep on chasing. We keep on explaining to her, no, you can do that. So that confidence builds up in her. Just because she doesn't have confidence doesn't mean that she doesn't have entrepreneurial ability. It's a question of building confidence in her. So we try to build the confidence because society has totally demolished her confidence in herself. That's what the poor people are. You're saying you are wrong, you're no good, you're good for nothing. And generation after generation, they have heard it, that's what they believe in. So we wanted to change that, build confidence in them.